Rock08 here finally is going to bring to you 2000 year in review, and there's a whole lot of ups and a whole lot of downs in this year, and most of the downs comes from WCW. In fact, if you thought Halloween Havoc and Starrcade 1999 were bad, these are so bad. Those shows look like fucking WrestleMania 17s in comparison. And even a show as bad as Sold Out is not even the worst thing we're going to watch. So here we go. Sold Out 2000 review. And a whole lot of things happened. And this book, The Death of WCW, is going to help me guide through it. In the weeks leading up to the Sold Out 2000, Bret Hart for the millionth time turned heel and would join forces with the Outsiders and Jeff Jarrett to reform once again the New World Order. That's right, the New World Order is back. New World Order 2000, bitches. Unfortunately, due to the big super kick by the hands of Goldberg that would sustain a concussion, Bret Hart was forced to retire, forcing him to vacate the championship. And you're going to hear me say the championship is vacated a whole lot of times in WCW. Because vacated should be in the Hall of Fame. Because vacated is already a one-time WCW champion in just the year 2000. So with Bret Hart forcing to retire, the championship is vacated. Who's going to be the champion? Well, there was going to be this Battle Royale. And Vince Russo had this idea of the winner of the Battle Royale would be the WCW champion. And that person would be none other than this motherfucker. Ted Tank motherfucking Abbott. Tank fucking Abbott. Vince Russo, the brainchild, the self-proclaimed brainchild of D-Generation X and Stone Cold Steve Austin, had the nuts, had the gall, had the balls to want this motherfucker to be crowned the WCW champion. So Bill Bush, who knew nothing about fucking WCW or professional wrestling for that matter, gives him an ultimatum. Russo, you can keep your job if you work with JJ, Kevin Sullivan, and the others. Or you don't have a job at all. Vince Russo basically quits. And who's in charge? Well, we don't know who's in charge. Let's just say Kevin Sullivan gets to be the head booker. Now, Kevin Sullivan being the head booker does not please a whole lot of guys. One man in particular is a man who doesn't exist anymore, but he exists here in Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit hates Kevin Sullivan's guts. So him and a whole lot of other wrestlers, including Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, even Shane Douglas, Perry Saturn, Billy Kidman, Conan, and a whole lot of others, confronted and says that if you're going to have Kevin Sullivan be the booker, then you can kiss our asses goodbye. We're out of here. We want our releases. Bill Bush says, okay, Kevin Sullivan can be the writer of Saturday Night, but he will not be booking Nitro and Thunder. You won't work Saturday night. However, he sends home Guerrero. He sends home the others. And this led Benoit to be pretty pissed off. So since they got sent home, he gets sent home too. So by the end of this show, Benoit, Guerrero, Saturn, and Malenko are no longer WCW wrestlers. Let's start off with the show, since most of this show is a whole lot of crap. We have a triple threat theater. What's that? Billy Kidman has to go through a gauntlet of wrestlers. He has 3 matches tonight. He has to face Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and a mystery opponent. His first match is against Dean Malenko. And this match is 2 minutes long. And the gimmick to this match is you cannot leave the match. You are to be confined in the squared circle. Unfortunately, Dean Malenko did not get the memo. He forgets the rules and he leaves the ring. So the match ends in the most awkward fashion of all time. This is the most awkward thing I've ever seen. So Dean Malenko leaves, forgetting the moment. This match sucked. 0 out of 10. Next up, Vampiro defeats David Flair and Crowbar in a horrific handicap match. 1 out of 10. Then we have the Mamalukes defeating the Harris Brothers in an atrocious match. 1 out of 10. Then we have that big, fat, ugly motherfucking piece of shit Ed Ferrara with his Oklahoma Jim Ross gimmick. Good God, he might be broken in half. Piece of shit. Now let me tell you this. Vince Russo got fired, or actually he quit. In his mind, he quit. So why not you just fire Ed Ferrara? Because guess what? Ed Ferrara is nothing more than Vince Russo's bitch. Ed Ferrara should just go and get him fucking coffee, because that's all what he's supposed to be doing. Or in Vince Russo's case, how he would say, coffee. Give me some coffee, Ed Ferrara, you fat sack of shit. So, here's Oklahoma battling Medusa for the Cruiserweight Championship belt. And Oklahoma fucking wins. And Oklahoma wins. And guess what? The Cruiserweight Championship gets to be displayed around that fat sack of shit's waist. And this kills the WCW Cruiserweight Championship belt. You killed the U.S. title by giving it to David Flair. You later killed the television championship when it gets founded in the dumpster. You killed the WCW World Heavyweight Championship by handing it over to 27 different times. And then you kill the Cruiserweight Championship belt. This is the many, many reasons why this year is the worst year of professional wrestling history for any company. This match gets a dud, and Ed Ferrara, you can go fuck yourself. Oklahoma, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Next up, we have Brian Knobbs, Norman Smiley, Fit Finlay, and Mang in a Fatal 4-Way Hardcore Championship match. Hardcore Championship, whatever. Brian Knobbs win this. Not much to say. It's a hardcore title match. Like any WCW hardcore match, it's just an excuse to be him hardcore. 1 out of 10. Then we have Billy Kidman defeating Perry Saturn in a bunkhouse brawl. What's that? It's basically a hardcore match. This is a very, very, very good match. Perry Saturn hits a nasty belly-to-belly suplex to the outside through a table, but Billy Kidman gets the win. Very good match. Match of the night. Not match of the night. It is one of the best matches of 2000. It gets a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Booker T defeating Stevie Ray via outside interference. Now, this was a good match, and they had a very good build. They had Stevie Ray. They interview him. He's in the ghetto of Harlem, New York, and he talks about how him and Booker T growing up, and how Booker T doesn't want to be reminded of the ghetto, and he doesn't come back to the ghetto, and whatever. There's a whole lot of things. It's built up really nicely. Built up very, very nicely. It's just too bad the match was so short, and it's just too bad that when the match was going so well, a 4 out of 10, very good match, it would have been awesome if it would have kept going, but the ending to this match is an interference. Now, who interferes in this match? None other than Arm Ed fucking Johnson. I'm dead fucking serious. Arm Ed Johnson, the man made of glass, attacks Booker T, and he gets a DQ victory. He is announced as Big T, and him and Stevie Ray forms Harlem Heat 2000. What the fuck? Next up, we have Tank Abbott, that big sack of shit, defeating Jerry Flynn, not Lynn, in a shoot fight. Or it might as well have been a shoot fight, because this match was just a whole lot of kicking, a whole lot of punching. Tank Abbott knocked his ass out, and this match sucked. 0. Next up, we have Buck Bagwell defeating Diamond Dallas Page in a good last man standing match. Good, but not great. I only give it a 5. Next up, we have Billy Kidman versus the mystery opponent. His last match of the night of 3. And Shane Douglas comes out to announce that his mystery opponent is none other than The Wall. The motherfucking Wall. It's The Wall. And The Wall smashes Billy Kidman in, get this, a steel cage match. Not a steel cage match. It would be a cage that kind of looks like a Hell in a Cell. It is a Hell in a Cell match. That's right, it's not called a Hell in a Cell, but it is a Hell in a Cell match. That's right, The Wall versus Billy Kidman in a Hell in a Cell match. What the bluest fuck is this? This match was garbage. I give it a 2 to be nice. Finally, we get to the main event, match of the night, and probably match of the year. For a longest time anyways. We get Chris Benoit, who's only in this position, one reason because Jeff Jarrett's injured. 2 reasons because Bret Hart's injured. And the third reason is just to keep him around. Chris Benoit beats Sid Vicious in a very, very good match. A 6.5 out of 10. But the only reason why he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship belt is to keep him in WCW. It was a ploy to keep him to stay in the WCW. And Benoit knew it was full of shit. Benoit knew this was dog shit. So him, Malenko, Saturn, and Guerrero said, you can kiss our asses goodbye. And in no less than 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or whatever, the night after the Royal Rumble, or something like that, within the end of the month, they would show up on Monday Night Raw. That's right. So at the end of this show, the Cruiserweight Championship is dead. The U.S. Championship's already dead. The television champion hasn't been relevant and ever. The WCW Championship is vacated for the second time already. So vacated gets a second title reign. And WCW's backbone is gone. No wonder this company fucking died. WCW fucking sucks 2000, and it just gets worse and worse. Sold Out 2000 is a terrible show. However, it's not the worst show we're gonna watch. I guarantee it. A 2.7 out of 10. I'm dead serious. That is a shitty rating. That's a very bad show. But it doesn't get any worse. Can it get any worse than that? Oh, hell yes it does. It gets worse and worse. Because the next time around we get to Super Brawl. Oh my god. But, thankfully, the bad show is gone of January. Next show around, I get to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time in the Royal Rumble 2000. ECW is going to get a review with Guilty as Charged. I can't wait to talk about them. So that's Royal Rumble, Guilty as Charged, and Super Brawl. A 2.7 out of 10 for Sold Out, and it just gets worse and worse and worse from here. 2000 is going to be one hell of a ride, people. Catch you next time. Peace.